All right. I think we're streaming. It's been so long. Maybe the first thing you do is go here and then hear yourself echoing back. 3 seconds later. It says offline, so it might not be working. But let's just see. Oh, it is working. Go team. So unfortunately, oh my god, I'm not logged into Twitch. Okay. Let's not let you see that all happen. Just a second there. All right. It's weird only having one monitor because usually I've got the chat over here and I've got like a preview of what's going on. I can see myself. Oh, for example, I forgot about the fact that I have it on pause right now. Okay, so let's switch to laptop at home. And here we go. And this is the point where I hope none of y'all say anything terrible because you're in the live stream and I don't want to have to edit you out later. So here is right now my first ever Nova installation. And I thought I was going to spend all my spare time like getting ready for making our first ever Nova package, and instead we spent all of our first time working on novapackages.com. So this is where kind of all of my time and a lot of other folks at Titan time has gone lately, including Jose can help right there, and Daniel Colburn has done a lot of work on this, and Jake Basson as well. I know Jake is a Twitcher, so we'll probably see him soon. So what I wanted to do was write a blog post about making my first ever package, and I figured why not live stream the amount of the attempt I could do this right now until my children wake up or my wife gets home, because she's an actor, so she's at a rehearsal right now. So we'll see how far this gets. I've never tried it. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what I'm doing. So all I know is I'm going to make a card, and the first card I'm going to do is just like basic content, like not much going on. Sound is weird. Sound is always weird for me. If more people say that sound is weird, I'll switch off of this and I'll switch onto the onboard mic, which is going to be kind of distant and echoey. But if it gets robotic or something, let me know and we'll switch over to the onboard mic. So I'm going to try and make a card, and cards are, I think these things might be cards. They seem cardy to me. So we'll kind of figure out whether that ends up being the right fit. Kind of muddy, okay. This happens literally every time I'm on Twitch. I need to start bringing my nice headset home with me. So I'm just going to need y'all to tell me if it's a problem. What's up, Mr. Powery? Slightly muffled. Okay. We're going to switch to onboard. And okay, don't sweat it. We're not going to switch to anything. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the CLI. And we're going to do Nova. And that tells you, Nova's not defined. Here's the things you can do. And we're going to make a Nova card. So let's make, actually, let's Nova install. Okay, so now we have a clear Nova. So we do Nova card, and it says missing name. And so this is one thing I noticed earlier, that some of the things, when you say missing name, you're like, oh, okay, my card's going to be called, what was it called? Nova package stats or something like that. I'm not really sure what it's going to be, but it's going to show statistics. And some of them are okay with a name like that, but some of them expect one in composer format. So this one would be TitanCo/Nova package stats. I kind of just want to, I don't even know what I want to call it. Package discovery, maybe? Let's just, it's going to be like statistics about like recent ones and popular ones and stuff like that. So we'll just call it discovery for now. Would you like to install the card's npm dependencies? Sure, why not? I don't fully know why I wouldn't, but maybe it would just make it faster. So I assume that like the basic card template must have some, you know, a package.json, then so it's going through and installing all them right now. if I remember correctly from Taylor's talk, what it's doing here is putting this in its own like little folder and then symlinking that folder into where Nova actually wants it. So that folder is really easy to turn into a Git repo. So what I'm actually going to go do right now, I'm going to switch the camera off real quick so I don't accidentally reveal something, and I'm going to make this Nova package discovery into a GitHub repo real quick. So let's go here.
You're all standing by, but I can see my face there at github.com. So I'm just going to go create a new repo on GitHub. Oh, Dropbox is backing up right now. That's probably part of why things are getting slow. Let's have Dropbox do something right now. I'm going to go make a new repository that is just this exact same thing. It's going to be titanco/nova-package-discovery. Audio just got better. Maybe it was Dropbox. Hey, troubles. All right, so I want to be under titanco. Okay. All right, and it's going to be public. It's going to be a Nova card package. Nova card for showing stats from novapackages.com. Standby screen has different audio. Oh, interesting. Audio input capture 3. And
the other one has audio input capture. So let's.
All right, both of them now have audio input capture 3. Let me know if that makes it any better. That was very, very interesting. Good catch on that, whoever caught that. Okay, so I made this, I think we're back off standby. Yeah, okay. I made this GitHub repo so we can push up to lens time. All right, would we like to compile the card's assets? Sure, assets. Why not? If the keyboard is annoying, that makes me think that you're not getting the AirPods. Then that's probably what's going on. You're probably getting update your composer packages. Yes. If you're just getting the onboard, then I can take this stupid thing out of my ear right now. Smart thing. Where did you see that? Oh, is that what I named the stream last time? Yeah, Smart Things is the last thing I built, which was quite a while ago. Let's see what you're getting right now. Yeah, see, you're not actually even getting this. So what you're basically telling me is that the onboard's better. So let me know if this is, let me know if you can't hear me or something like that. Yeah, I didn't update my title. Can you update your title in the middle of a stream, or do I have to title it beforehand? Okay, while I wait for answers and all those. Hey, Andre, what's up? The boot off. Okay, so we have this thing, and it says installing titanco Nova package discovery, which is interesting because it looks like you're pulling it from GitHub, but you're not. It's actually just symlinking it, basically telling Composer, pull this package from this directory. And that directory is in the Nova component / Nova package discovery directory. So it kind of set that up to be a package under this namespace right here, but then it put it into this folder right here. So if we go like this, we're going to see that there's now this Nova components directory. And if we open up that Nova components directory, you're going to see Nova package discovery and then all the files. So the first thing I'm going to do right there is I'm going to go into Nova components. And I'm going to go into Nova package discovery, and then I'm going to set that one that I just made as a remote. So I basically am going to just test out what happens if I just git init in here. I think that's all going to be fine. It's already got its own git ignore. Live. And then we add our remote. And it should be pullable here. Let's take a look. All right, so we now have Hopefully it's not pushing up any like personal cards, like important information here or anything like that, but I don't think it is. I mean, it's a package, so it's meant to be set up just like this. I mean, this is exactly how easy it is to kind of set up your first thing. So we're going to walk through that real quick, but my assumption is that somebody can now, yeah, see, that's why I was trying to use the AirPods earlier, but y'all didn't like the sound of the AirPods, so somebody could now pull this in, using the non-packagist way to install Composer packages. So, all right, so let's see what our actual resources look like. We've got a card service provider that just basically establishes some routes, okay, and where are our routes? Nova vendor, Nova package discovery. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. I don't actually know what's going on. Well, this card service provider for this particular card, when it boots, it runs routes, and it's telling Nova that it's serving these two. Okay, so that means my guess is that there's resources. Yep. Okay, so we've got a SAS file. We've got our probably card.js, which is equivalent to app.js. It says when Nova is booting, then register this component. Okay. And then it pulls it out of components card.view, which is a single, what's it called? Single. All right, if y'all want me to switch back to the AirPods, you just let me know. It's a single file view component. Okay, cool. So that makes sense in general. So what is this right here? So this is the service provider, but this is the actual kind of class. So we can say the width of it. I'm going to just keep it at a 1/3 width for now. And then it has a component name, which is Nova-package-discovery. Okay. And then there's a lot going on here that I'm trying to figure out. So register the card's route. So this route has Nova. It's a route in the prefix Nova-vendor, but I'm not actually seeing where Nova-vendor goes, so I haven't figured that out yet. / Nova-package-discovery, and then it groups in. Does this have a routes.php file? No, it does right here. Take a look. So it actually can provide its own API routes. So I assume that if I want to serve some data to that view component, I'm going to throw it all in here. Okay, cool. So let's start and see, is our card even on our site anywhere? My assumption is no, and we have to explicitly attach it somewhere. And this is the part where I'm not really totally clear where to add it. So let's just see if there's a place in here that's something like the Nova service provider that tells us like where we can put our cards in. So as a Nova service provider, I bet it's got card. Here you go, new help. I bet you this thing right here is the help card. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to say new Nova package discovery. And then let's just see if it just shows up. My guess is it's not going to just show. Oh, there you go. So putting an entry in the cards entry in the Nova service provider makes it instantly show up in your dashboard. And this is our package right there. So I bet you if we go to that card.view in our package, we're going to see that it says Nova package discovery. There you go. So we're already off to a really good start. We can now use this, and this is Tailwind, so we're already ready to go. So let's pull down the size a little bit and then say discover Nova packages. I'm guessing I should be npm run watching. I don't have to know if I can run it on here or if I need to run it on. Titan Code is not hosting it. Thanks, Jake. Okay, there we go. So let's pull off the flex. Right. So what I'd really like to do is, off the top of my head, I'd like to have like basically a list of like recent packages, with a list, and then maybe like popular packages. Although that's not actually an API endpoint right now. And then, maybe that's it. Maybe just every time somebody logs in, they might be interested in discovering, hey, what are the hot new packages everybody's excited about right now, and what are the what are the most recent ones, most popular ones. So in theory, we would basically like do some sort of like li, and this would be like a v4 equals recent package or package in recent packages. Just so y'all know, I have not written a lot of Vue lately, so this is going to be pretty janky. And then this is going to be something like popular packages. So is text 80 a shaded gray? I don't know, because I actually use the text gray dark and text gray darker. Let's actually go discover together which it is. Text 80 is color variable negative 80. I mean, it's a color, it's not an opacity, but I've not seen that. I don't know if that's a specific thing that Nova's providing or that's something new in Tailwind. So, all right. So what we want is to find a way to get in recent packages and popular packages. There you go. Smart man. So 80 is these variables. Where are the variables coming from in Tailwind? I never remember that. Because 90 is, 90 is actually passing in that. This is the new CSS variable syntax, but I never remember where everything actually comes from there. So anyway, somebody else can learn that and figure out what on earth is actually going on there. Okay, so what we want is to have, so can we pass props in here, or do we need to do everything in API calls and mounted? I think that's the next step. Like, let's assume you have data. I think the latest thing in Vue is that if you're doing this, you do this, and then turn this. But again, I've written so little Vue lately, somebody can kind of correct me if I'm wrong here. So it's something like we're going to do recent packages, and right now we'll just do this, and then like this. I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to do it. I never remember whether Vue, when Vue prefers a fat arrow and Vue prefers a function. So somebody can correct me there. Unfortunately, I have notifications turned off, so I'm actually not going to notice when I break things here. So, all right, recent pop. Oh, interesting. That's a cute little font. Okay, so let's assume that these packages are coming through in, like, as if they were coming from Eloquent. So let's just throw a title in there. So something like, package.name or something like that. And then we can kind of throw in here just to kind of prove out this UI a little bit, and then we can start looking and deploying them. So we have one that has the name of my best package now. And then this one's going to have one in there that's called your best package now. Let's just see. Again, this isn't just discovering Nova together. This is me remembering Twitch and Vue. All right, so we've got them in there now. Obviously, our styles aren't doing so great there. So let's see. Let's make these an LG. I want this to be a light. I think I want this to be uppercase and a medium. And I think I'm just going to call this Nova packages.com. And then these H2s are going to be more like text large, something like that. Just get something in there that's not too hideous. Just want to be unexpected. Let's just pull this off. Just things would be a little weird in there. Okay, it's a little bit easier. Text base versus text medium. I think I remember them pulling that out because they're like, it's not really medium. Thanks. That's what it was. It's interesting that these are not smaller. Oops. We'll just do this. I think small can feel too small here. I'm nitpicking over something that doesn't really matter, but let's just do this for now. Okay, cool. And then we'll put actually each of these. Just real quick styles, and then we'll get some actual data. Okay, good enough. NovaPackages.com, recent packages, popular packages. All right, so my thought right here was that we're going to go into our components routes file, and we're going to see what it looks like to return that same kind of thing. So let's say we've got two endpoints right here. We've got one that's going to be recent packages, and then one that's going to be popular packages. So for now, let's just return response JSON. And then this is our same thing. Sure, typoing in here somewhere. All right. So what we want to do is figure out if we're getting this data into this card, we're either going to pull it in mounted via this API call, or we're going to pass it in as a prop. I can't really figure out where this would be pulled unless there's a template. Yeah, there's no like template file I see here that would explain to me like where we could pass in props to it. So my guess is that we can't pass in props. That's my best guess. Or at least it's not automatically accessible here. If somebody wants, they can go look at the Nova docs and maybe it explains that. But for now, I'm just going to say I don't see it anywhere. So I'm just gonna assume that we don't have access to that. So if that's true, we don't have access to it, then let's pull in Axios and figure out. I feel like I'd love to know that there's already like kind of helpers around making HTTP calls to the routes in here, which makes me honestly want to go see one of the existing packages so that I don't actually waste a whole bunch of time getting this kind of figured out. So let's just come in here and see which one of these do I know makes a HTTP call that we can go take a look at. Because I think a lot of these aren't. Well, let's just see. Let's just go take a look at what sorts of things these folks are doing. So we're looking in their routes API call. It's possible none of these people are doing anything in here. I think they are post-flush. Okay, so they are doing all their work in the API, which means in their cards, that means that we're going to see resources, JS, components. Oh, there's also card.js. Is there anything? No, okay, that's where we're registering our components. And their component, the basic one, this is where they're making the calls. So does it come with any really wonderful, convenient HTTP methods? Oh, here you go. See? This is what happens when you don't read documentation. All right. So we've got this nova.request thing and this Nova vendor hosting thing. So this is what we're talking about. So we're going to drop Axios, and we're going to, remember, this is how we do things. We're doing it live. We're going to do this. So let's just try this. Oops, just randomly. Nova vendor, and then the name of ours is, what's it called? Nova package discovery / recent packages. And then they're doing stuff with that response data. So in theory, we should be able to just kind of do it live like that, yeah, and kind of see what we're getting back from it. Hey, there you go. So is it under .data? So it's an array. So I kind of think we can just do like this dot recent packages equals response.data, and then do the same kind of thing for the popular packages. And then we can instantiate these with nothing because they're now going to get pulled down. And we should see the same kind of thing with exclamation points if everything works. Hey, look at us. Look what's going on. Look what's going on. So we now have pulling directly from our thing. We've got a little title. We've got a list of our recent packages and our popular packages. And so you're not seeing a documentation for requests. It's probably related to the whole early release thing. Okay. Hey, Sean, what's up, man? Noise. Okay, so now all that remains is going into our API, which is a normal Laravel API, and getting this kind of information out of here. So at this point, what I want to do is pull that information out of the novapackages.com thing. we don't have an SDK built for that, so I'm going to use kitetail ZTTP for that. Here you go, Batman. Oh, Axios is globally available, but then you also get these Nova requests. It's a separate instance of Axios. See, that's what I was expecting. Pre-configured interceptance, so it's going to, any errors that you get from this one, you're going to get those little bubbles that it gets whenever anything goes wrong, which is really nice. We have a global event bus. This is nice. Yeah, I mean, that's totally true. What's up, Dorinda? Oh, we can do little notifications. I'm just going to do one just because I want to. We're just going to do this little thing. We're going to say then response, and then let's do a little toast. Do this kind of thing for both of them. Hey, blame the people who like the noise of my onboard mic better than my AirPods for why you're hearing me slam this poor keyboard. Let's see some toast. There you go, look at that. Toast notifications right down there. Very, very, very cool. This makes it so easy to build really robust stuff going on here. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is use ZTTP to... This is a 2013 MacBook, y'all. They didn't have to fix anything on this one because it's a friggin' tank. So let's pull in ZTTP and we're going to make calls to the API. And actually, no. We're not going to do it there because we're going to do it in our Nova components. And we're right here because this is a different Git repo. So let's see what this is right here. What have we done here? We have all right, we're going to pull in ZTTP. And then we're going to go grab some ZTTP syntax. And the way this is going to work is in our API.php, we're going to get our packages. Once it's done installing, all right, right now we actually don't, I don't think we need headers. So let's just try this. And what's our URL going to be? It's going to be HTTPS. Do a little of this beast. Although, what does die and dumping even do here? I feel like we need to figure out how the log goes. Because I don't have, this is my old laptop, I don't have anything configured with, like, what's it called? Xdebug or anything like that. It's the easiest way to, gosh, what am I doing? And then does this have its own storage? Or is it gonna, this is very interesting. I don't actually know where this log is gonna go. Let's just try it out and see what happens. And then, meanwhile, we have another one here, tailing the log off of the application itself. So this is the application that's using Nova, not our component. Okay. Gosh, it's so hard when I've cranked this resolution down for Twitch to see what's even going on here. Yeah, there's internal server error, but I can't see what it is because Chrome is just crapping its pants here. Come on. Oh, it's completely shut down. Oh, well, we did get something here. So I should be using Jake Baffin's shortcut. Class ZTTP, ZTTP not found. Why not? It's in this. This is interesting. I have pulled in ZTTP in Nova package discovery. It's in its composer.json, and if we go in here, we go to kitetail ZTTP, and we get ZTTP, ZTTP. So there's that class. Do I need to composer update on the app? Jake, I have no idea what that means, but hey. Later? I have no idea what that means. Let's just do a composer install and see if it pulls in ZTTP there. Well, at least it's getting a little bit more cleanly. Just checking I turned it off, but it wasn't focused. Okay, got it. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of stuck here. Hey, Colmore. Vendor, kitetail, ZTTP source. So it is in the components vendor directory, and it's composer.json. So, and then right here, we are in the routes file for the component. And it's trying to use ZTTP, but it says it doesn't have access to ZTTP. Let's see if we can get like a useful stack trace out of there, maybe, or something. I feel like it has something to do with the fact that this is all happening in the context of the app instead of the component, but I'm just really not clear how to handle that. I'm going to do a composer dump there. Did install there. Did a dump there. Let's see what that does. Okay, so let's go to Nova packages again. And let's see somebody who we know is pulling in an external dependency. And it'd be nice if they're actually pulling their dependency in API.php. All right, so Spotsy is using their thing in here. They're calling them directly from their routes.API, and they're pulling them in their composer.json right there. So why? Yeah, y'all, I'm stuck. This is not my favorite thing to have happen on a. I mean, I can switch over to file get contents or something, but it feels like there's something that I'm missing here. Check their composer.json autoload. I thought I looked at that and saw, yeah, all they're pulling in is their, wait, hold on. Spotsy backup tool. Had to switch to, yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Do you add the namespace to the autoload? Well, so this is them, no, but I don't think I need to, because if you look at it, the things that they're pulling in routes API.php is, oh wait, Spotsy backup tool. Wait, so they're not loading things from their composer dependency. I thought they were, but that's actually the name of their. Okay, Laravel backup is what theirs is, not backup tool. So I'm looking for anywhere that they use Laravel backup in their code. So let's just go see if in their routes API they use Laravel backup tool. No, this is all the local stuff for this thing. Okay, now let's step back out and let's go look at whether they use it in their service provider. No. This is totally bonkers. Like none of these things are using the package that they pulled in. This is just all using local code directly for this card. Oh, speaking of my tweet, I didn't actually tweet to say, hey, I'm live. Oh, I fail. Oh, fail. I'm going to do that right now. Whoops. Maybe going over to Twitter for a minute will give me a second to clear my brain or something. Yeah, I'll just figure that out while I'm sitting here, okay? Package development. While you're doing that, go here and update your stream title. I will do that. Let's switch to pause so that I don't reveal anything very personal. I don't know what it would be, but what the heck. All right, update my stream title. Let's find where my stream. Oh, there you go. Learning, building my first Laravel Nova package. Okay, stream title updated. Let's go back so y'all can see again. And I'm still very confused. Behind the scenes, Spotsy Laravel backup is used, but where are you using it and how? That's what I want to know. I bet you this is it. So, I mean, it looks like they're using it without a problem. So I'm just completely gobsmacked here. All I can figure out is that this is not getting pulled in the way I want. And so I can't use this in here. I have to use it in a different file. So let's just just for fun, let's go to one of these other classes. Let's just, grab a class like this and just call it like proxying because I'm lost.php. And then all it's going to do is basically have a public function ZTTP. And it's going to, what's the call we're actually using on ZTTP in here? Get. And then, let's see, we're having like a single parameter. Okay, that's literally all we're going to do right now. Return ZTTP get URL. And then, I really don't think this is, yes, the file, they are there in the components vendor. That's the thing. You go to the components vendor, you get kitetail, ZTTP source, ZTTP. And that is under ZTTP/ZTTP, which is what we're calling here, which is ZTTP/ZTTP. It is not under the vendor of the parent application, though. So, currently confused, but let's just try this. So instead of ZTTP get, we're going to proxying because I'm lost, and we're going to say proxy equals new proxying because I'm lost. And then we're going to say response equals proxy get, and then the same URL. Let's just see if it actually has access to it. And if it does, this is weird, and if it doesn't, I'm just still very confused. So let's just figure this out together. We're going to watch this later. It's going to be so obvious. All right, class. So it's not just ZTTP. This routes API thing is not being able to discover anything. So let's narrow it down a little bit. I'm sure it's just super, super, super easy. Maybe. So let's go look at, where were we before? Yeah. Now we're back up to him. And in his routes API.php, he's pulling in things that are Spotsy backup tool HTTP controllers, which is probably Spotsy backup tool HTTP controllers. Okay, so let's check whether their composer.json is pulling in that source any differently than ours. It's auto-loading PSR4 Spotsy backup tool to source. So let's make sure that our composer.json is auto-loading PSR4 app to app. Oh, that's the wrong composer.json. Just kidding. Auto-loading PSR4 Titan Co. Nova package discovery source. So I don't know what I'm doing here. First, just install into. But that would be crazy. It doesn't pull in any of the dependencies of the component? Is that really how it works? So like anything that's in here is not actually going to function? I hope not. If a card can't pull its own dependencies, that's going to bum me out. But that's not even the problem running into is, look, it should be auto-loading. Titan Co. Nova package discovery from source. And if you go to Titan Co. Nova package discovery, you want to go to our component /source / proxying because I'm lost. Titan Co. Nova package discovery proxying because I'm lost. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's some magic aspect of the installation process that we're missing here. Just as a bummer, I feel like, oops, sorry, where's that? I really wish that we weren't wasting our whole time just trying to get this one little thing working. Like this one stupid little problem. I composer installed on both, if I remember correctly. Composer install here. Let's just do composer update instead of composer install and see if that changes something. Wait a minute. You may have to composer update on the parent project, not just composer install. What just happened? What just happened? So that fixed it, but really what we can do there is just now pull out of this crap and go back to this, drop the stupid proxy thing, hopefully, and ZTTP, and cross your fingers. That's what it was. So we needed to be able to pull in a composer update. So when you make changes to the composer.json of the package, then you need a composer update the parent application. That's what it looks like. Good collaborative process there, team. Okay, so I wanted to log whether we're actually getting this response. So let's go see, does the stuff we log there get shown up here? Looks like it does, which is great. Yeah. I wish it wasn't logging quite so much. Actually, I just want to see what the shape of that response is, but I think it's got everything embedded under data. Yeah, okay. So what we want to do is it's an array. So in theory, this right here is all of our data. So in theory, screwing error checking or anything like this, we should be able to get up here and actually get the hey, look at that, that's real data. That is not spaced very well, but we're getting actual real cards there. Recompose installing the project root to tell you dependencies. Yeah, it's just I have never done much with the sim-linked composer dependency rather than how it's different than non-sim-linked, but obviously it's the same. All right, so we have real data pulled in there, and sneakily I didn't tell you about the fact that popular doesn't actually exist in the API yet, but I will add it. But that's like a fully functional thing that I'm a little curious about why it's stuck to just that height. So let's see if there's an easy fix on that one. Inspect. Width 1/3. We have like a default height in them that we are then gonna like fight against or something. Well, here's where all those variables are being set. Just take a quick look about where that is while we're at it. Resources. Laravel Nova resources at that. Okay. It's getting set where this is all actually kind of set originally. That's the generated file, but I'm sure it's... Well, actually, that might not be the generated file. Anyway, okay. So all those variables are being set. Okay, back to where we were. Why is this so short? So this is our thing right here. It's either this or this. It's not this negative margin. It's not that. Width, yeah, okay, yeah. But where's our height being set? Or is it not being set? It's just setting it to be whatever it was before view. Oh, card panel height 150 pixels. Huh. So cards are by default set to, but why is it, what makes this help one not 150 pixels tall? What makes it taller? Well, it's obviously already different because it's not just your average card. So there's a, trying to figure out where the best place to go is to discover how to customize those. Let's go to the docs. So nova.laravel.com/docs, I think is where it was. And then cards. No, this is the first time I've opened the docs the whole time. Registering a card, card options, runtime configuration methods in the card class, these methods. The card that you with the card view provides access to any card options that are available. I think those are set by the methods. Registering assets, yep, figure that out. Compiling the assets, yep. Okay, so it's not telling us anything about that. So let's go back to our card and see if there's any really easy ways to understand. And if anybody else wants to go look at any of the other packages on novapackages.com and see if they have figured that out and done this kind of same digging that we're doing right now, it'd be so much easier if I didn't have so little space. But I have very little space. All right, so it's in the card panel, CSS docs bottom sidebar. Yeah, I'm not seeing the card or card panel stuff. I don't think we're getting really much of anything useful there. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Card panel. Okay, so I was going to go look at where card panel is defined, and I really wish I could just exclude this. I want to see in Nova. Can we do that in Nova? CSS card.css. Thanks, okay. You really need to set up a thing to exclude all these compiled files from my Nova card. Okay, well that wasn't it. I'm going to exclude all these built files. Okay, Nova resources app, card panel. So, do any of these have a different height? I mean, we could just pull card panel off of it, probably. Actually, no. Interesting. where is that card panel class being added? Is it above where we are? I'm a little confused here. Keep clicking if I'm not confused. I think this gets added by this card component. So it should see testing right next to card and card panel. Yeah. I wonder how he intends for us to make taller panels, or whether he doesn't. And if he doesn't, then what is it that's magical about these ones? I wonder if there's a different component other than card that you can use. There's like a couple different components or something like that. Let's see if we can find that help one. No change. Card shelves frequencies. Oh, you mean this card.css. Yeah, just the things, there's nothing actually in here. We can change our styles here if we want, but what I'm trying to figure out is it's using this card component that is being registered from, that's not this, because card of view is where we are. So that card component that we're seeing here is being pulled from the Nova card component, this thing right here. So I think, is there a help card.view that we can work with? This is the interesting thing. They did a card, but their card is somehow not being constrained in height. And I don't know why. Perhaps cards manager. So why is their card not getting card panel added? But, I mean, we can override it, sure, but I'd like to know how to do it right. And I'm not going to spend all night on this. But I'd love to know why it's getting card panel applied to it. And the problem is all I get is all these built files. And what I'd like to do is see, is there JavaScript somewhere that's defining in that card.view whether or not that card panel thing gets added? The likelihood is that it's happening. Oh, size, cards, card wrapper, card size class. The class getting the card based on its size. Okay. My guess is that in that help card.view, we're going to see size. Well, no, it's actually not here. It's probably one under this. So where's the help card.view? JS component cards. All right, so what was that? Sorry. Resources, JS, components, cards, help card.view. So what is pulling in help card.view? Let's just try passing in size and just see what happens. Sorry, I know you all can't see right now. I think it's a separate one from width. I think there's one called size. And the thing we just looked at said something along the lines of, oh no, I lost it. What was it? Size, if it's not equal to large. Okay, let's make it large. Let's just go to our card. And I think that was card service provider. Where are we going to be doing that? Hold on, just make sure. I think this is where it was that those, nope, no package discovery. Okay, what if we were to set size here? Or maybe not. I'm so mad. I don't think it's the full width thing. I think there's a thing called size that's separate from the width. Nope, we made it full and it disappeared. Well, Jose, I'll eat crow right there. I still think that there's a separate thing because if you look at what we saw there, it was large, whether this size is set to large. Card element. Okay, I will do that. I need to real quick answer a phone call. So I'm gonna do this. And What's up, peeps? I'm going to just not worry about the size thing. I'm going to ask Hemphill about it a little bit later. So let's just for now just set this thing to be full width and just not even worry about it. And then put a little to-do, make it smaller and bigger. Ooh, what just happened there? That'll be size later. Why is it doing all that with all those? Oh, something's going weird. Well, somebody else had that same idea. Because I'm almost out of time. My wife's about to be home, so I'm just going to try and get this thing just looking not too ugly. I mean, we're basically about there. I kind of let you all sit. It's interesting that it went down the bottom there. But we've got a full width card there, novapackages.com. It's got all of our recent packages. And the last thing oh man, this computer is really crapping out on this stream, y'all. The last thing I want to do is just make them link. And then that's going to have to be cutting it for today, and then I'll work on it tomorrow. I remember there being something like this. I just realized that we don't actually have a URL here. Help the register, that's probably what it is. Passing a size prop did not work, no. And if you look at it, the size prop is coming in this card wrapper component. And I just, I don't want to go down that too far. Can I please get rid of the info cards? Sure, I can get rid of the help cards. Nova service provider, help, and let's just comment that out for now. All right, there we go. Okay, so real quick, before my wife gets home, I think this is how you do it in Vue these days. So the interesting thing is I don't actually think we have a URL that comes back. I don't even know if we have the ID. So the API right now doesn't actually give the ability to link to it, which is just nuts. So, but that's the wrong URL. So let's link to the wrong URL right now. And then what I need to do is basically get the novapackages.com URL and link it here. So let's see, going in here. And there you go. So these are the actual URLs for those recent packages that were added. We can add in the dates that it was added and format it, And then I can add this popular packages endpoint, and then we can get it in there. And then what I'd like to do after that is probably make it like a small card with little tabs up top. And then I feel like it's ready to go. If anybody has any other ideas for how to make this package pretty cool, I'd love to hear it. I'm going to go throw this one up on novapackages.com and on Packagist. And then it's going to be open source, and people can play around with it, and they can duplicate it. We can do feature requests. And I actually have some time free tomorrow at 10 Eastern, I think, in the morning. So I probably will hack on it again from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'll be back on Twitch, and I'll give advance notice then as well. I know I made you all wait for 20 minutes when I was on the phone, and now I have to cut, but she's 5 minutes away, and when she gets in, she doesn't want to be on y'all's stream. So I'm going to cut it for today. Thank you all for helping so much. This has probably been the most helpful stream of all time. Y'all have been such a freaking blessing to me in trying to figure this thing out. And we did it. We made our first package together. It's going to go out. It's going to be live. It's going to be a real thing. We did it tonight. And you guys talked about marriage and proposals while I was gone. So that was great. Public size equals large. Yeah, why don't we try that? We're going to do that. Last thing we're going to do, we're going to see if the card service provider, I think I tried it, but maybe I didn't. Let's try it. 1/3 public, and that would be great if that was it. Public size equals large. Yeah, it doesn't do it, but good thing to know. I'm going to ask David Hemphill and see if he can kind of give me some answers. Thank you, everybody. Had a great time with all of you, and have a great night. See you all tomorrow morning if you're around.